照相的人呢？好，要准备，好，你多几个人照相啊？你除了他以外还有其他哈 ？OK。Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with today's ceremony. First, I would like to introduce the Professor Qinrui Zhang to give us an opening introduction.
VP Chen and all the IBM delegation group, also Executive VP also Chen, and Director General Xu and President Zhou and all the participants for this 3 days workshop, all the distinguished guests and scholar, and I'm very excited actually for today's ceremony. Actually, this event agreement collaboration with IBM was discussed with VP Chen for more than 2 years. And anyway, I cannot say how difficult it was, but really suffer a lot of different things. Sometimes it's inside Taiwan, sometimes in United States. But however, it's quite lucky actually we finalized everything last November with the help from Ken. And so everything settled. So NTU and the Taiwan academic community can work together with IBM on this IBM-Q since this January 1st. So, and we think, Taiwan academic community, including III, E3, and also academic partner, can definitely, work together to start this very, pioneer things inside Taiwan, also with the help and the collaboration with IBM partner. I was attended actually a month ago in European flagship day of the quantum technology. Actually, they mentioned now is the second quantum technology revolution. The first revolution, quantum technology revolution, is from transistor and the CMOS, and that changed the life of the human. But nowadays is the second quantum technology revolution, and the quantum computer hardware, software is one of them. And the first one actually is a single particle, mainly is a single particle picture. The first technology, quantum technology. Second actually is many-body effect. And so I just did talk with Ken. A lot of people ask, what is the quantum computer? How to do the quantum computer? What is entanglement? And it's really not easy to explain, but I think you will get to know after you really use that. So I think NTU, with the help from the university, present, and we definitely will do well in the future. And hopefully after today, we can do a lot of things to become very important issue in the world history. And wish all of us can participate this very important kickoff. Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome NTU Vice President Professor Chen to give us opening remarks.
Yeah, thanks, Professor Chang. And our Director General, Zhou Hongxu, and IBM delegates, VP TC Chen and Norimoto and Kenneth, and also the newly elected III President, who is on board today, Chong Hong Cho, and also the Dr. Yuren Wu from ITRI. On behalf of National Taiwan University, it's my great pleasure to welcome each of you to participate in today's event, the NTU and IBM Q Initial Workshop in Taiwan 2019, and also the opening ceremony of IBM Q at NTU. As we all know, the quantum computing, and also mentioned by Professor Chang just now, the quantum computing is attracting an increasing amount of attention recently, and expected to perform certain tasks much more efficiently than traditional computers. And although still in its infancy, however, recently we observe there has been much progress made on quantum computing. So it's about time for us to pay attention, much more attention to the quantum computing programming and software development. And through the effort of Professor Chinrui Chang and also the IBM teams, the help from VP Chen, plus the support from our most in Taiwan, NTU has signed an agreement with IBM to allow NTU and its partner, including III and ITRI, to access the IBM quantum computer systems. So I would like to thank them and also many others for making this important and exciting arrangement possible. And also, I believe the initial workshop today is indeed a timely one. Should be very informative and useful for NTU and also its partners to start with. So finally, let me take this opportunity to wish each of you and your loved ones to have a very happy Chinese Lunar New Year, full of joy, prosperity, and good health. Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to welcome IBM Vice President, Dr. Chen, to give us a remark.
Distinguished guests and colleagues from IBM and from the universities. It's my honor to be here to attend the opening ceremony. And I'm actually particularly delighted to kick off this meeting with Vice President Dr. Chen. Not only we were colleagues 30 years ago in IBM research, or IBM Watson research, we were actually neighbors in the same community. Anyway, quantum computing is nothing new. Actually, way back 45, 50 years ago, people already proposed a concept. However, even 15 years ago, when I was rejoined IBM research from semiconductor divisions in 2003. At the time, people thought quantum computing would take another 30 years or 40 years to come. I think even today, there are still people think about, 30 years, 40 years. However, having the high energy physics as my, basic trainings. At the time, Yorktown Research had only three researchers in 2003. One of them came to my office, I still can remember, explained to me how, computing in native, quantum cubic would enhance the classical way of doing it. You use a lot of approximation, right? Even for hydrogen, H2O, it takes enormous effort to calculate it. So IBM for 15 years invested from 3 to many hundreds. We actually invested the talents, 2 order of magnitude more than invested in the silicon. So all these years, innovation in device material, as well as the design and testing. Finally, about 8 years ago, we achieved the coherent length of a few hundred microseconds. That's when we know the feasibility of quantum computer is ready. However, people ask a question. We had a 5 cubic first, and we put on a web, online access for everybody. Very often, people ask why we did that. There are 3 motivations. Number 1, actually, is precisely what we just did in Taiwan for education, for students and professors to have access. Because 8 years ago, IBM hired just about worldwide available PhDs in quantum computing. We ran out of the student to hire. So 8 years ago, we thought putting in the system for all the institution students to have access. It's going to promote, right? More talented students and scholars, scientists to help create. Second reason, ecosystem, to create these ecosystems. Okay, because quantum computer is not done yet. Right now, in terms of algorithm for different application and compiler and all these things, still huge. We just barely are beginning. Without the software development, hardware will not perform what you wanted. And the third reason is also very simple. And yeah, when IBM announced way back, 8 cubic and 15 cubic, there are so many companies also say they have more than 50 or close to 100 cubic. So we decided to put in the system and test it out, see which company can weigh enough to put the system for access. And I think you all know the results very clearly. Yeah. So with that, we're back in 2017 with Professor Chen. Chun-Hui Chen, he and I initiated it in September 2017. We thought about because IBM intended to set up the quantum hub, okay, in worldwide, and we thought about establishing this hub in Taiwan, so that the students and professors, and researchers from E3 and III can have access and further develop the algorithm software. And I'm here to thank NTU first, and also Ministry of Science and Technology, and E3 and III. Thanks them for their support. After a long negotiation, we finally established this NTU IBM hub in Taiwan. And I'm sure with this hub in Taiwan, and also the access to the 20 cubic system, soon it's going to be to 50 cubic system. I think in terms of application in chemistry, financial, and also AI, all these areas, and as well as some others, optimization, all these fields, can be well established in Taiwan. So let me thanks NTU and MOST and E3 III again. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Next, let's welcome Director General at MOST, Dr. Xu. Give us a mark.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to have the chance to be here to attend this opening ceremony. And we all know quantum computer is or quantum information is a very exciting new area. And so we know a lot of different countries start to putting a lot of funding in this area. For example, US recently announced they put 1.2 billion US dollars, and EU put like 1 billion euro here. In Taiwan, of course, we don't have so much money, but we still try to start the program. Now we support this center, NTU, IBM Hub, and also we have a center at National Tsinghua University. We also support 3 very large scale research projects. But we mainly, in Taiwan right now, we mainly focus on hardware, and we notice that software is equally important and maybe even more important. So I'm glad IBM Q provide this opportunity. So for our young talents and other people can start to use the quantum computer now. And we know this will be a revolutionary technology. And myself, I remember I'm teaching at, I'm a professor at electrical engineering. I remember I taught a class, microelectronics. One student major in EE came to ask me. He said, Professor, I'm really interested in computer science, although his major is in EE. But in our department, we have an optional class, quantum mechanics. He asked me, I'm really interested in computer science. Do I really need to take a course of quantum mechanics? At that time, about 10 years ago, I said, probably not. But now I think I'm wrong. Really, I think it's the future. This quantum computer, I really believe in my heart can truly change people's life in the future. And I wish today has a very successful workshop. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, let's welcome the president of III to give us a remark.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's a great honor to be as a partner of the NTU IBM Q lab. Well, it's just Professor Chen just told everybody that I just on board for as a president of III this morning, and this is the first thing I do come to here. And well, we are very happy and honored to be partner of the research team for quantum technology. And I just know that there will be our team will go to Keio University for the a short visiting next week, and we should be successful. And again, we are happy to be one of the partner. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have a small opening ceremony. So let me first welcome the NTU Vice President, Dr. Chen. And IBM Vice President, Dr. Chen. And also Director General of MOS. And also the President of III. And Professor Wu of ITRI. And also Professor Zhang. Here. Okay. Wait a moment, let's take a picture first. All right. So yes, please. Yeah. And also take a photo. All right, thank you. All right, so, maybe. One more. All right, thank you. Be seated. Then we will take a picture from this side too. Oh. All right. The next is the agreement exchange. So let's welcome the NTU Vice President and the IBM Vice President. Okay. Take a picture. All right, thank you. All right, so we will photo from this side. 你走过来看。哎，拿椅子去给他哈，帮他扶着，别掉下。All right.麻烦大家动作快一点，然后一下子就结束了，我们就一下子就 tea break 了哈。好，你越拖得越慢，那就很慢了啊！大家赶快，请各位同学赶快就先去站着哈，然后我们就可以排座位哈。